Here in the studio to talk more about what the relaxed Japanese age restriction means for the U.S. beef industry is Phil Seng, President and CEO of the U.S. Meat Export Federation. Phil, thanks for coming to the show.
Good to be here.
Well, you know, Japan has been evaluating this change in policy for some time now. Give us an update on the latest.
Well, recently Japan just announced that they're going to go into a comment period. This is after they've had 7 sessions of their Prion subcommittee looking at the risk involved. They'll have about a month's comments that will be received at that point. Then the Food Safety Commission will look at these comments, and then based on that, after about a 10-day period, they'll remand those comments and their report to the Ministry of Health in Japan, who will then go ahead and have about 10 different sessions, listening sessions around the country. And at that point in time, after we've had a plant audit here in the United States, there should be an announcement from the Japanese opening up that market a little further.
That's great news. So you've got lots of feet on the ground there and have been close to this. What's been the reaction in Japan?
Well, the reaction has been extremely positive in Japan. I think number one is when we take a look at the trade in Japan, the retailers, the food service industry, they've been ecstatic about the fact that they're going to be able to get more product into that market. Beef is expensive now, and with the 40% duty you have on beef, it's very expensive. I think when we take a look at the stock of the various companies that have been involved, all their stock went up when there was an announcement they were moving forward on this. And the consumer and the press reaction has been very, very positive. So I think all the way around, a lot of the work that had been expended with checkoff dollars in trying to show the We Care campaign and how much we care about the consumers and care about our cattle and our production systems over here, this has made a huge difference in Japan.
So the Japanese market has always been known for a high-value market, and I'd be interested to know what's your sense in terms of the cuts that we'll see an increase in volume in, and more importantly, what are the biggest opportunities for U.S. beef industry?
Well, Japan has always been a chuck market. I mean, the four-quarter has always been very big in the Japanese market, but it's kind of interesting because with the 20-month plateau that we've had here over the last 5 years, the upscale restaurants, it's been hard for them to procure prime product and higher choice type product because of the feeding situation. So we're going to see, I think, a real interest by the Japan food service sector looking at some of our middle meats and some of these types of things. On the other hand, another area that a lot of people don't realize but has some of the biggest margins for the industry is the variety meats market. Japan is a major consumer of beef tongue, of beef variety meats, of mountain chain tripe, some of these things. So what we see on both sides of it, from the variety meats all the way to the top quality meats, in addition to the chuck items, that's going to really go into Japan at with much more velocity than we've had in the past.
And at a high level, what do you think this means to the U.S. beef industry?
Well, it's going to be significant to the U.S. beef industry. Even now, when we take a look at the Japanese market with the 20-month restriction, just over the last 2 months, we've already eclipsed Mexico as being the largest destination for our product. So what we see here with the value component that goes on with the Japanese market, and also with the tremendous desire to have more product into that market, it's going to be very positive for the U.S. beef industry. It's going to be extremely positive.
Well, thank you so much for coming to the show and for all you've done to open up this new opportunity.
Well, thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
For more information on the Japanese age restrictions on U.S. beef or the U.S. Meat Export Federation, just log on to our website at cattlemen2cattlemen.org.